Come on, stream. Oh, and there we are. We are live again on TikTok podcast. And I am so excited today to talk to the goddess, Oh Maya. How are you?
I'm good. I'm half asleep. How are you this morning?
I am good, actually. I got a pretty good night's sleep, I will say. But that was, after a few nights of like not a lot of good sleep. So we have never met in person, but we were supposed to meet at an event and then I couldn't go. And I would love to have you introduce yourself, tell everybody about you, where you're from, and we'll get into some fun questions.
All right. I'm Omaya. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. Well, not really Lexington, as you can see behind me. I live about an hour from Lexington. But
Okay.
I've been in the industry about 9 or 10 months now, I think.
Oh,
And
you do.
I do kind of mainstream shoots, not like the big dogs, but the big dogs for the BBWs. I make my own videos, like full production, like lights, videographer, like a scene, not just Gonzo. I mean, Gonzo's cool, but I try to do the whole thing. We're on Instagram Live, so I don't know what all I can say.
So yes, we are live, everybody, on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So we need to keep it social media friendly, and then we can, during our special bonus interview, we can talk about some more specifics. But we can definitely talk about the industry a little bit. I saw that you also have done some work for Plumper. Yeah. So I see what you're saying. You're you're getting yourself there slowly but surely.
They were actually my first shoot. Like, I just went in.
You started at the top. I love
just
it.
Went in with it. So
now, how did they find you?
On my Twitter, because I was doing modeling beforehand.
Okay.
And dancing beforehand. So I had a very small social media, like very small, like under 1,000 people. And then they found me this time last year. So.
Oh, so you kind of started dabble in it with some plus size modeling lingerie, that kind of thing.
And dancing was my first thing. And then I was dancing and then I went into the modeling and that took me online. So.
I'm so fascinated by, clubs that have BBW dancers because it's not a normal thing everywhere. And so the communities that have it, I'm like, that's good for you guys to have some variety.
Well, I was the one. So
you're the one. Every place is the one. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I was just the only one there that was plus size. So it was an experience. I enjoyed it. I still go back sometimes. They actually have started hiring other BBWs because they seen how well I did. So
I was going to say, you must have done real well considering you were the only one.
Yes, the only one. And it definitely makes your skin very thick. You have to figure out different ways to hustle, just they might not want to dance from you, but they might love talking to you, or they might want a back massage or something, you got to figure it out.
Right. It's so interesting to me because I feel like so many men love a thicker lady and they want all that deliciousness that goes along with it. But, there are the men that love it. That's what they want all the time. And then for some people, they're like, I'd like to try that once, or I'd like to, I want that flavor every now and again, but I don't want to be in a relationship with that. And so I get it.
There's a ton, I got a ton of that. People that had never even thought that they would like a big woman. And then they see me and they're like, oh, let's try this. Let's try
this. Oh my God, I love it. I think it's so interesting for sure. I never I can't imagine being a dancer. First of all, I can't dance. I have no rhythm. I can't shake my backside for anything. There's nothing back there to shake.
You just gotta shake the front side.
I shake the front side. So if this is what you're interested, that's what I'm good at. But I really admire that ability to be able to interact with people in that way because everything I've done is digital. everything is through a screen. And so like when you started doing, the fan sites, like how did you sort of like what made you decide, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm already doing everything else. I might as well start a fan site.
One of the dancers that I've known for a long time, she was like, "You would do so well online."
Mm-hmm.
And she showed me her OnlyFans and stuff, and she's like, "You really need to do this." So
Yeah,
I started one and haven't looked back.
that's awesome. I love it. Did you have some like interesting or crazy job or something that you did before, or crappy job? Like, I'm always curious what people did before they started
Oh
doing.
my gosh. I've worked in tobacco, I've worked in factories, I've done some pretty hard work for next to nothing. So
So you're like, this is it. This is easy. It's easy. I think it's easy.
it well, you gotta keep in mind I'm still in my first year of
Yes.
building this. So I do work really hard, but I've worked really hard for a lot less. So I enjoy this, so it makes it easy.
Right. It's definitely the most fun job I've ever had for sure. But what I love is the flexibility. Like it gives me the ability to work when I want, with who I want, where I want. And I'm not, my own boss. I have people I
Yes.
have to deal with, of course, but like I'm not slaving away at a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 kind of job. And I don't ever want to look back and do that again.
No, I'm home except for maybe 6 days a month, maybe 8 max. So I love
Um,
that. I love being home.
I'm a bit of a homebody too. This doesn't help. This has not helped, I gotta say, because there are days where people are like, "Well, what did you do all day?" And I'm like, "I sat by the pool on TikTok and took some selfies and did some yoga, and that's work."
All very important parts of the job, though.
Really, it is. It is. That's how the people find you. That is how the people find you. So, yeah, big life change, but for the better, 100%. So so you started like a year ago, and you said you've only traveled a little bit. Like, are you hoping to travel more and do more of the industry things?
Well, like where I'm in Kentucky, I do have to travel to work with anybody or any companies. So I've only come out to California once. I'm mainly on the East Coast and South. But yes, I'd love to travel more. I got my summer pass for Frontier for the summer, so we're going to see how that goes.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. I live in Austin, so it's a little, it is a city, but like there's not a lot of people in Austin specifically that are in our world. So it is challenging to find people. And people are like, you should know everybody. And I'm like, yeah, but like there are people in Texas, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, everybody's like a 3-4 hour drive at least. And then you still got to go to like the big cities. And I try to explain that to people. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's like Miami, LA, and Vegas. Like that's
Yes.
where people are. And anything outside of that, it's like, okay, you gotta make it happen. So
You got to super plane it and then hope that they come through on their end too.
right. That's always been a challenge too. You always have to know that like somebody's not gonna show up, somebody's gonna flake, something's gonna go wrong. In life, things happen. Like things just happen. But that's why kind of the bigger events, I feel like those are worth it because because there's so many people, no matter what, you're always going to get something out of going and probably what you didn't even expect.
Yeah, that's how AVN was for me. I had quite a few things cancel, and then I had things I plan on doing later this year happen then. So
Right,
you
because you're
just got to
just
go with it.
yes, I have not done AVN yet. I'm hoping next year will finally be my year. It's just such bad timing. It is such bad timing because it's like right after the holidays. So
Yes.
if you don't plan super far in advance for it, and then you're like, oh, right, this is right after the holidays, that's not convenient timing for me.
Well, I got super lucky because I'd planned on going that weekend anyway, like 2 or 3 months in advance. I wasn't going for AVN at the beginning. And
Oh,
then I got the nomination for the BBW category. So I was like, all right, let's just go. Let's go meet some people and just go. That was my ticket in the door. So might as well.
I love it. That kind of happened to me with XBiz last year. I got nominated for social media BBW, and I was like, "Is this a big deal? Should I be going to this?" Like, I didn't even plan on going to it at the time, and I didn't even know people had nominated me. And then I asked like a couple of people that are much bigger in this world than we are, and they're like, "That's kind of a big deal. You should probably go to that." And I was like, "Oh, I guess I need to go." And it was
At least
awesome.
go meet more people. I mean, that's
Oh my God, that is what I did. I did podcast interviews. I shot with somebody who I had wanted to shoot with for a long time. And just like the networking was so good. And then like so I work with an agency and they were actually there too. So I got to have like FaceTime with them, which was great. So yeah, it was so much fun. If it's not on your radar, I highly recommend XBiz Miami. You should go.
I think I'm gonna have to go the weekend before. Like, already got plans that weekend. I need
Oh
to
no.
start looking and seeing when conventions are for the whole year, so I can.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's definitely a bit of a calendar between all the events, and that's why I'm like, none of these companies talk to each other. So some of them kind of like overlap, and that's why. But I think XBiz is great because then you meet like the companies and all the people that run things like behind the scenes, and there's no fans there, so like there's kind of like a safety and security in that for me. Like I'd rather meet fans in a place that's like meant for meeting fans. So, but
100%.
yeah.
That's more of a business trip completely.
Right? Are you going to do any of the exoticas this year, do you think?
Yes. Last year, I actually did all of them last year,
You did?
and this year I'm gonna do Chicago definitely and New Jersey again. I'm not sure about Miami and DC.
Those are the two I also want to do.
Well, you let me know if you're coming so we can meet in person.
Yes. Oh my God. Absolutely. I was just kind of looking at this yesterday and talking to somebody to be like, maybe I need to split a booth. Maybe I should, like, what am I doing? Do I just go and walk around and see what it is? Because I've never been to Exotica.
I know for Chicago, I'm just gonna do the ladies' free night, and
Mhm.
then Saturday and Sunday I'll be shooting. So that's my plan for it.
Okay. It's definitely, I've never been. It looks super fun. Everybody's like, no, you really need to do it. Like, I kind of like you, my first year, I was like, I'm just kind of figuring this out as I go along. I don't really know what I'm doing. Why do I need to go to this event or do these things? And now here I am a couple years later. It's like, no, it's time. I've really got to go do these things.
I got lucky on that aspect because 2 years ago was my first Exotica before I was even in the industry side. So that kind of helped lead me into knowing about them. So I'm
So
thankful
you've
for
always
that.
kind of been like in the lifestyle then.
Yes.
Okay. Are you a swinger?
No, not like that. It's more of the stripper side of it is why I was there. So
Okay. Just curious. It's always fascinating when I meet swingers. I'm like, tell me more about this. Like, I've never had one of these relationships. I'd love to learn more.
I'm the same way. I'm like,
Like, you
we're
might
just
be a swinger if. That's kind of how I look at it. It's like, oh my goodness. Well, so I would love to just like kind of know, like, would you say like your kind of your personal sort of things that interest you? Like, what do you sort of talk about with your fans? What could they expect from like a Maya experience? Because you say goddess, and goddess could mean a lot of different things.
it does. It does. I definitely have people that want to worship every inch of me, like all the
Yes.
curves. And that's
Mm-hmm.
where the goddess come in at on that end. But then it got took more to a dom level with some people where they just want to be very submissive to me. And I'm gonna have to learn about the lives on the social media sites. This is my first one.
Okay, you're doing great. You're doing great because but that there is that aspect of it where some people would want you to be more dominant. So, are you like naturally dominant or submissive?
I'm a switch on that level. Like
Okay.
I play my role in whatever, and I enjoy doing both. I just need to know what is wanted from me because I can either take it all the way over here or all the way over here. So I need to know
Mm.
what you like.
Right. Because you seem very sweet. You got that lovely Southern accent going. I'm sure people expect one thing, and then, yeah, there's another side that they could
Yeah.
access. Let them.
Yes. Yes. That's definitely happens. Definitely
Well,
happens.
so you sent me a photo of you in a lovely gown, and you look kind of tall. So are you, do you have that kind of yes, no? Are you tall?
No.
Because no. Okay, because in that photo, I was like, oh, goddess, you look tall, and like, it's like, okay.
Everybody thinks I'm tall until they meet me, and I'm like 5'3", 5'4".
I am 5'3" as well. So okay, that's funny. I know when people are like, are you tall? I'm like, no, it's just like the legs sometimes that make me look that way. Trust
The
me.
legs, add some heels, and
It must have been the dress. The dress just elongated everything.
well, thank you.
Was that one of your modeling photos?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
See, like I got super lucky with the avian strip because I already had that dress, so it was
Oh,
ready. I already had pictures took in it, so I already had them for like promo. So
you're like, it just kind of happened to come together. Now, did you do the award show and the expo and everything?
I did the expo one night just as like somebody walking through like regular clothes, just
Mm-hmm.
as a fan, I'd say. And
Yes.
then I did do the award show. I won't do that again. Like I won't set for the whole thing again.
Too long.
Very, very long.
Yeah, I can imagine. It is hard to sit through those things for sure. Um, I just, yeah, going to them in like my previous life, like work events and things. I'm like, oh God, this is long. So I get that. And because like you're in Vegas, you could be doing so many other things. It's just, yeah, unless you're up for an award and like you're gonna win it. So did you leave after you find out you didn't win, basically?
Oh, I sat there with like a group of other girls. So yeah, we left at the end of it. So that was fine. We just got up at like 7 or 8 a.m. I think because we'd been working all day
Yeah,
beforehand. So
that's
we was like,
true.
no, I think it was all of our first time maybe like
Oh, okay.
actually being at the award show. So we all just
Okay.
sat there.
Now, because you mentioned you like to be home, so are you kind of like an introvert, and then when you go do these things, it, like sucks the life out of you, you got to like recover?
Yes, yes. I
Nice.
enjoy more one-on-one or like small groups of people.
Yeah.
So if I'm gone for like 3-4 days max, that's yeah. I need like a week to recover.
I'm kind of there with you. And I discovered I was like that before I even started doing this, but I'm like, okay, I have like a 3-day max for these big crazy events. And it's funny because by like the third night, people will be like, you're kind of bitchy now. It's like it's after they get to know me. I'm like, yeah, because I'm tired.
Done. I want to go home.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm done. We've done the same things for like 3 days in a row now. It's like 1 a.m. I'm done. I just give me my content.
Yes,
Here's my hard
yes,
drive. It's time to go home. And I'm always the one who's like, no, I need my own hotel room. Like, trust me.
yes. You don't want to be here unless you know me. You don't want to stay with me because it's bum mode and
Yes, exactly. That's why I always joke like, guys, no, I'm an old lady. Like, I need to be with the like, where's like the, I joke like the over 30 half of the house. I'm like, where's that half of the house so that like I can be there with the people that want to
well,
sleep.
I'm 26, but I will join you there.
I'm like, I can't do the whole stay up till like 2 in the morning and then be up again at like 7 or 8 in the morning. And like, that's not what I'm looking for in life. I like my beauty sleep, as I say, my beauty sleep.
Well, I'll do that if it's worth it. Like, but I'm not staying up till 2 or 3 partying or any of that. Like, if we're still making some great videos, sure, but leave me out
Yeah.
of the party, please.
I know if I'm up that late, make videos, then I'm literally like, okay, need you to like put me to bed. That's what we're going to call this. You're putting me to bed. And like, I'm literally not going to move from this bed. Like, you're going to leave the room.
After
Yeah. The lights are off. We're done. I'm done. I'm going to shower real quick
you
and go to
bring
bed.
You bring a moo just for the good night scene.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done. Like, this is no makeup, all natural, gonzo, whatever. Like, I'm like, I don't care. Like, it's bedtime. So, yeah, tuck me in, give me a kiss on the forehead.
Hey, that's where it's at.
Yeah. We're gonna make a bedtime story right now. That's what we'll call it. Making bedtime stories.
There you go. Now you know what you're gonna do every night for events.
I know. If anyone's watching or listening, guys, these are my code words. Like, let's make a story, go to bed. Yeah, it's just always so fun. I mean, it's super fun. Like, I gotta say, like, doing all this, I'm like, wow, this is a whole new like side of me that I discovered. So when you kind of got into doing more of this work, like, did you kind of like discover things that you didn't know you liked?
Yes, definitely did. So I've always been attracted to women. Starting to do this, I'd only been with 2 women before doing this. So now when I'm collabing, I'm like, just send me the women. Send me the thick women. If you're a male, I'm probably, if I ask you to collab and you're a male, feel very special. Very, very special.
That is, yeah, I'm kind of picky too. It's funny when I started, yeah, I had only had a few experiences with women as well. And then like, you're like, okay, we're going to do this scene, we're going to shoot. And I'm like, wait, I have questions. Like, what am I doing? What's okay? What's not okay? Like, and I was just like, it's like, I, was kind of lost, I have to say, as people casually were like, okay, so here are your options. I was like, thank you.
Thanks for giving me options. And now how do I make it look good for the camera?
Yeah, exactly. And, until I got like more comfortable with it, because I was just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And like, I know this is acting, but you don't want to be the person who everyone's like, no, she's bad at that. Like,
very, very just the worst.
Yeah, no, she actually doesn't enjoy this at all. Like, it's a bad experience. Like, that's terrible. You never want to have people saying anything about that. I tend to be like, anything right here is like, go for it, anything. And then we got to discuss like the bottom half to be like, wait, what are you doing?
What are you about to do?
Just like a quick meeting, a quick production meeting, I'll call it, before we start.
Yes, those are needed, very needed.
Definitely. Wow. I'm so happy we got to talk, because I remember you sounded so busy. You were like, I gotta plan this for like a month and a half out. Like, you were like, I got stuff I'm doing. So what have you been up to?
Let's see. The last month I shot with Plumper Pass again, and then I got sick. So yay.
What happens?
And I went to Denver, Colorado for a photo shoot. So that was nice. I've been wanting to go to Denver. So that gave me a reason to go. And then I just got back from New York last week. So it's been
a place.
Yeah.
I'll have to send Clint a little be like, you want to retweet this for us? I want to just
Gotta do that. Gotta retweet it.
Yeah, give us a little love. I'm talking to all your ladies. It's so funny, that like world of and he's like, you do a podcast? It's like, I do a podcast. So I love interviewing all different types of models, to be honest. Like, I don't know what to consider myself, to be honest. A lot of the time people say BBW, and then like real BBWs will look at me and be like, you're not really a BBW. And then some guy, it's just like, so it's so hard to be like, you belong here, you belong here, you belong here, except the consistency is this. So
you're Erica Love. That's who you are. It's okay.
I'm full of love. Yeah, that's the way to look at it.
And big titties. It's okay.
I love it. That's what I like. No matter what, I'm like, and then my fans are like, because I do interview models who are petite and like not built, the way we're built. And I am just like, no, I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's like, everybody likes something. There's something out there for everybody, equal opportunity. And fans like variety. That's what I've learned more than anything. Yes.
I've only had maybe like 10 or 12 that are like strictly BBW. That's all they like. A
I
lot
would
of
agree.
people like a few different things.
They like variety, and that's why, when men are like, how do I get like started in doing this and everything, I'm always like, you need to work with a lot of different types of women. That is probably your best way to like do it. Like, don't just have that one type. And don't, so like when guys are like, oh no, she's like not the type of content that I want to work with, and it's like, you don't know that for sure. Guys are, they like seeing different things all the time. So yeah,
And
it's been
especially,
really,
like, as a male creator, a lot of your fans are probably males too. You should definitely have a wide range of women on your site. Like,
oh, if
I'm working for that. Like, give me the variety of women, please. Please come work with me. This is me
I,
asking.
oh my God, I love that. I know, it's so funny when they're like, what do you mean? And I'm just like, well, I'm like, the guys that are out there like hustling, the straight guys that are doing it, I'm like, they are different types, different sizes, different ethnicities, different like everything all the time. And that's how they do it. And people are like, oh, they like don't even. I mean, you can definitely build your business on being like, I do this one thing really well all the time. And that's great. But for the most part, it's variety, the spice of life, right? That's what they say, the spice of life.
Yes. I have people be like, well, what's your niche? What is it? What is it? I'm like, I really don't have one thing. I do a variety of different things. Like, come
Yes.
come experience it.
Yes. For what is your price?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly. Like mine is $3. You can just click that button and subscribe and check it out.
Well, mine's 5 until tomorrow, and then it'll be back to 10. So enjoy
Oh,
today.
so normally mine is 10 as well, but this month is the birthday month. So I was like, all right, we're going to do $3 sale for the third month of the year. So yeah, you guys better join while you can to see, all the exciting things that Erica Love does in her life and all of my wonderful podcast interviews.
Yes. Yes.
Well, speaking of which, I think it's time for us to go do our special bonus interview that you can only see on our fan sites. So thank you so much, Omaya, for being on TikTok. And everyone, make sure you give her a follow, click the link to subscribe, and we're going to be back real soon.
Thank you for having me.